Welcome, one and all to the iOS Red monthly finals from April. My name is Counterfeit, joined by Deedless today to bring you the top level MC5 competition. Let's take a look across at our bracket to see who we've got in the mix. We have some returning teams from the last monthly finals, Victory of Lords, New Era and Dark Nation. But we note some missing names. Destiny, Red, Randoms and Brooklyn all are not here. But Deedless, who are our new teams to the tournament? Definitely one of the teams to watch. There's some of the faces in there that's may recognize, of course, from the other tournaments. The way you get into this competition to fight for your share of €500 or $500 if you're in America is to place highly in the weekly competition. And Private Clan, you said, coming in on number 2 seed today. They weren't in the previous monthly finals. Now, after a recent tournament win in which they took out both Victory of Lords and New Era, they find themselves in a pretty good spot to make their first appearance a significant one. So guys, of course, as always, we will be getting through with community games in between our various different series today. So hope you come and join us on iOS for that. We'll be going this monthly finals now, and a little bit later on this evening we'll be going across for the blue regional finals as well on iOS. So I hope you'll come and join us for both of those things as we get set up for New Era versus Dark Nation. Looks like their first map is just getting it set up as we speak. So Deedless, we've got our teams. Who are you favouring to take it all today? We'll have to see it. Apologies for that. I think it was having some audio issues on one side, but should be fixed now. And welcome, of course, to our mighty moderators. You can see Big Gorilla over there in the chat. And Peso making a sad face. Don't worry, Peso. We'll cheer you up with some MC5. Aviator is taking care of the... or Aviator Feature taking care of the administrative duties for today. And I think we've got our first lobby at least. So let's jump across to there. Shazoom! So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. PVT is favourite. Let's see. Oh, Private Clan. So there you go, Deedless. Hunter agrees with you. I think, yeah, I'm actually going to have a quick look through because I need to check this for myself. But I don't think between Victory of Lords and New Era. Let's see. So Victory of Lords have taken wins over New Era. They've traded wins with New Era, rather.
Mm-hmm.
And against Private Clan... oh, actually, no. Victory of Lords haven't beaten Private Clan, let's see, since the 2nd of May. I don't know. I really feel like it's anybody's tournament here. But certainly New Era... certainly one of our favourite teams. Dark Nation, they've taken a lot of losses recently, but those have been first round losses to teams that would then go on to make it to the finals. So I'm prepared to be surprised by them.
Well, Counterfeit, I definitely think it's going to be an interesting match. And, well, we are waiting for some of the teams to join up. But Counterfeit, you asked me who I thought would be the big favorites here for this tournament. But now I'm going to give you the same question. Who do you believe is going to take it all?
Well, I mean, it's tough. I think that the Private Clan, they've made the most progress recently. So I think they are a pretty solid pick, but for me, it's hard to stray away from Victory of Lords. I mean, Victory Lords and New Era are two returning finals teams. They were kept from winning, for both teams getting knocked out by Brooklyn ultimately. With Brooklyn not here, I think I would probably give the edge to New Era, just because New Era have done a little bit better against Brooklyn, who beat both teams.
Okay, that is fair, kind of it. And, well, I don't see why not. It could definitely come true. But we're going to have to wait and see now. Teams finally starting to load in here between New Era and Dark Nation. I would say overall that New Era, as a team, they have looked pretty good. They are an old team as well, alongside Victory Lords. Of course, alongside Dark Nation as well. But New Era, they have been able to trade wins against Victory Lords. And I feel like any team able to do that is a good team that you need to respect.
So guys, for any of you guys who are coming into this for the first time, we'll be going through best of 3 all the way to the grand finals, which will be best of 5 for those 500 euros we mentioned before. And the first 3 placed teams will all get Invictus camo to be able to show off their skill. Hunter Private Clan is pretty new. I don't think Private Clan as an entity is new, but I think their success recently, they've been kind of grabbing a lot more of the spotlight for themselves. So in that respect, I suppose, they're new as a top contender, at least.
Well, I think their roster is new as well. I can't remember how much I've seen of this roster, but as you said, it's a new thing to see New Era and Dark Nation be at the top. And hopefully New Era, they can keep going with this. Hopefully they can keep the streak going, because I definitely like seeing multiple teams at the very top.
Oh, for sure. I mean, for Private Clan, as the current incarnation, I'm pretty sure Private Clan have been around longer than this, but they do tend to sort of, switch between official teams. They've been back here since early April, headed out by Limbo, with players like Darren, who definitely have seen before, and Issa L, we saw in yesterday's competition, being a really terrifying player. So yeah, I think it's a good shout to think that Private Clan will do well, but I don't know, my money's on New Era. They're a very solid team, and whoever ends up in the finals, be it Victory Lords, New Era, Private Clan, or one of our upstarts, I'm sure it'll be a heck of a lot of fun. But now though, guys, we're waiting for the last players to get in, so we'll take ourselves a very small break before we get our first quarterfinals underway. Catch you guys in a few minutes' time. Alright guys, it looks like we've got a little bit of time on our hands, as we've had a few no-shows from our team's shameful behaviour.
They are cheeky.
The cheekiest! Gosh. Honestly though,
Cheekier.
I mean, I can understand the standard of competition is very high, but I don't know, I think even a chance at getting a share of €500, it might seem unlikely, but I'd still give it a crack. You never know.
Oh, honestly, I would chicken out because I'm not very good at MC5. And these guys, they are pretty scary.
To be fair, I think you probably wouldn't have gone to the monthly finals if you weren't very good at MC5. But...
Hey, don't put me down like that. I'm sure I would be able to. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll update you guys as and when we've got some new information about the ESL competition. For now, we'd ask you to join us and have yourselves a grand old time out here on the battlefield. We're going to start out things on conversion, and perhaps we'll
what now?
make some new friends along the way.
Ooh, new friends. I don't do friends, however, Peter. That's not my style.
What is your style then?
I'm more of like a lone wolf.
Ah. Well, perhaps we can change your mind as you see the power of the pack. You know, there's only so far you can go as a lone wolf. You know, there's the carpool lane, for example. That's off limits to you.
Yeah, well, you know what, Peter? I think you are an interesting guy who's apparently about to kick me out into a car lane. You know, I don't like driving a lot.
Wow. I don't really have anything to say to that. So Hunter was... Yes, I remember Hunter, you talking about this before. Was asking us to keep an eye out for what scopes people were using. Whether or not it's going to be 4 times or 6 times. Because, yeah, there is definitely a sort of a meta game going on in terms of, you know, what kind of engagement ranges people like to go for. Hunter, yes. Well, you're right. So Hunter's saying that we had the no scope precision changes, so that went down. It's less effective to fire while no scoping with the sniper rifles, which is it went from being very, very high to being kind of, you know, moderate. And the Marauder, so the Marauder isn't part of ESL competition, but I think it probably still does influence ESL because just what people are playing, you know, in the regular queue is gonna to an extent carry across to here because that's what they're practiced with.
Yeah.
JJ Dadrix, you can download it for Steam on PC. Yes. So just look it up on Steam. Just Modern Combat 5. You can grab Modern Combat Versus as well. Made by a different Gameloft company, but similar game. We'll have some Modern Combat Versus fans in the chat because we share a social channel. Bill's, you love McDonald's? Alright. Fair enough.
What do you love about McDonald's? Is probably the better answer.
And we are
and
not
why
affiliated.
do you? No, we're definitely not affiliated, but like, I'd love to hear why people love McDonald's. It's always interesting.
Oh, actually, we've got a first game, so apologies for you guys who are heading in for that one. We'll make sure we get you guys into a game. But we've apparently got Vol and their first game?
Against Anofia from Korea. Not quite sure how you're supposed to pronounce that name, but the lobby is up nonetheless.
Oh, I think it's I'll just go with another.
Ooh, yeah, you might be right. It's another.
Okay, so Victory Lords and yes, Victory Lords and Korea's another meeting in our first semi-final. I'll try and get it so that we get to see both semi-finals. Otherwise, we're going to end up with a rather short stream. So, New Era and Private Clan are playing in the other semis. We'll see if we can hold them. Okay. And let's get you guys in for our pre-game lobby. So, we should have some extremely competitive semi-finals. As they're one of the teams we've kind of been sleeping on a little bit, but I'm fully prepared to have some surprises here. Victory Lords, yeah, they've shown that they're not unbeatable.
Oh, certainly not. They haven't been looking that good in their last red tournament. They had a surprising loss to Dire Free from the UK. But they still are a team that you need to respect, but it's a completely new lineup that these guys are rocking, so we should be expecting some new stuff from them.
Yeah, big things, scary things, all over the place. So, let's see. Having a quick look back through another's tournament history to remind myself. That's right, so they've not had too much success as of yet. They've been in circulation since sort of mid-April of this year. We haven't had many Korean representative teams coming through, but hey, we shall see. This is certainly a high-stakes game, even if the relative success of the teams is quite different from one another. Victory of Lords, they've known tournament wins for another. They haven't even gone close, but they're in the semi-finals now, one series away from a guaranteed €150.
Well, kind of it. Let's see who can get it. When? But we are about to start. 5 players on the left, 5 players on the right. It is a semi-final match, and it's do or die time, and we're heading in to our first map of Vantage.
All right. Make sure you're ready for our opening round of competition. As we said, this is extremely high stakes competition. Literally €150 ride on this best of 3. Let's get it on.
Kind of it. We're starting out here. Are you ready? Are you hyped? Because right now it's all about who can win. Vol PRG running out here with the commander class, getting ready to find some kills, but on the opposite side you obviously have Stress, who's also ready. He's not just behind him. Cheeto, however, will find the first kill.
A good shot across and well started. So the two teams give each other a lot of space to work with as we see the Lords set up their castle right in the center. Another right over on the other side. You can see as Stress picks up a second. Another have gotten the early warning signs from the French squad. If it comes just to a straight long-range shootout, it's going to be a tough battle to win.
But it is surprising to see that they are falling this far behind right now. They have 3 snipers and 2 assaults. Those 2 assaults, they have some ACOGs to work with, so there's plenty of scopes that they could utilize if they wanted to. But they're just not landing those shots right now.
So first minute down, Victory of Lords. They're not perhaps as far ahead as they kind of seem confident with being, but it seems like it's a avenue of play that's trending upwards as God goes to the close range fight. Gets the kill, backs off again, looking for the reload while dancing in the close quarters. You want to keep your distance correctly as God gets those first 3 kills. Now to be able to go up into the flank of another, but finally their luck runs dry.
Counterfeit Victory Lords, they're pulling themselves ahead now by 4 kills. And that is a hard task to come back from. After all, here on Vantage, it's all about these slow plays. The teams, they don't like to go for aggressive plays. They want to slow it down and have these long-range fights. And right now, the Victory Lords, they are just better at landing those shots, and they find themselves 6 kills up. Now with a recon aircraft as well, we're starting to see a bit of a problematic situation for another develop.
You can see Shine currently leading the scoreline for Victory Lords. A very healthy looking scoreline as they smash 2 more down. Another in real trouble here, as even in deep Korean territory, they're going to get pressured from multiple sides. We can see God coming in from the side, looking to be the difference maker. Finds the flank. Doesn't manage to get the first few kills in, but Stress will make up the difference. Jinkook does at least get 1 back before being torn asunder. But it's looking like this could be a very brief first game for the Lords on stream.
It really could be kind of it. The Lords, they're not even getting the military support. They're not using those grenades. There's not a huge difference in explosive kills or military support between these two teams. It's 3-0 and 3-0 respectively over the both on both of those stats. And it's just all about the Victory Lords being able to land the shots way better.
It's honestly a very dire warning sent to all the other teams in the tournament. Of course, we said before, we will be following up this semi-final with the New Era Private Clan semi-final, as returning New Era go up against new challengers Private Clan. Cheeto gets even more kills in. They started this off, and they're looking to finish it as well.
They certainly are. Cheeto, 6 kills, gets another one right here. Hasn't died yet, and it's looking pretty good. But Vol Shine, also with 11 kills and 2 deaths, is at the top of that scoreboard, kind of fit.
Man, it is a tough time for another who barely have broken into double digits, while Victory of Lords, they are less than 11 kills away from winning out this first game and making sure that they are in the finals. First place takes home €350. Diana and the rest of the squad, they punish Victory of Lords for being just a little bit too hyper-confident, but I think it is a well-earned confidence for the most part.
But honestly, at this point in time, it just becomes hard for another to really get back into this game. Victory Lords, not only are they this far ahead, and they're dueling pretty well, they have also gotten a lot of military support because they're getting so many kills. Right now, sitting at 8 times that they have gotten a military support, while another, they have gotten 0.
Hunter's been keeping an eye out for those scopes we mentioned before. As 50-18, boy, that is a tough look for our Korean representatives. The Victory of Lords, they've been a team who've been used to being on top for quite some time, and they haven't shown any signs of slowing down at all.
Definitely not. They looked very good here in game number 1. Kind of it. We were doubting them a bit going into today's stream. I don't think we need to doubt them anymore because they are here and they are looking to play.
Shine and God both turning up for the Victory of Lords teams. Of course, they have team captain Stress and Cheeto there, who had an unblemished record. We'll have to see if Cheeto can make it the whole way through the series without dying. But for now, guys, we'll be headed to break. When we return, our second game of Victory of Lords versus another. As we said as well, we will immediately be having our New Era Private Clan right after that, so don't go anywhere, and we shall return. The monthly April finals continues after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Our second game of our second semi-finals game between Another and Victory of Lords. The Lords look dominant in their opening encounter. Now we head to streets, and perhaps the Korean squad can salvage the series.
They need to kind of fit, and they need to show us something new, because Victory of Lords, I think looking dominant is too easy to say. They looked strong and they just smashed another. It was like seeing someone take a hammer and just nail a nail down into the wood. It was very, very easy to take them down.
Cheetah, we noted last time round, didn't take a single death. Both Shine and God just dominated the competition as well. It looks like it's going to be close range fighting as Cheetah takes their first death of this series. Maybe the Korean squad more comfortable with face-to-face brawling.
Well, Another definitely doing better this time around here against the Victory of Lords. But kind of it's far from over. We're only 1 minute into the game, but already seeing 16 kills overall. It's very bloody, it's very messy, and Victory of Lords, they're having a hard time against Another, so it seems like they're trying to slow things down and stay together as a team.
Yeah, Another actually in the lead, which I think is a first for the entire series. This game on streets, we see several distinct styles of play where we have the defensive over to the far left-hand, right-hand sides of the map. But right now, it's all about that center where everyone is just smashing into each other full force. The commanders are getting a lot of use, as well as the heavies with their shotguns, because the amount of death being thrown around in those close quarters is honestly terrifying.
But the Victory of Lords, they need to be careful about going into the middle, because right now, Another, they have 8 explosive kills compared to the 2 of Victory of Lords. So that just means that while Victory Lords, they have control over the middle, they will be caught in that grenade fire, and they have done so multiple times. So that is a good way that Another, they have figured out to how to punish a Victory of Lords by being in the middle.
Jalita, the best player on Another. As for the Koreans, they're starting to fall quite dramatically behind. Seemingly, the French squad have adapted to the close-range brutality on display, and right now, they are hitting Another before they get a chance to bring themselves back together as a team.
Certainly are kind of it, but the Victory Lords, they're starting to get up ahead with 12 kills in front. Another are having a hard time, and it's going to be so hard for them to get back. We saw how game number 1 was. Victory Lords, they kept going and they kept their control, even though Another, they tried to fight back.
See that Another now driven out of the center, trying to win back that territory with a flurry of grenades. Chalita does get some good hits there, but has to flee at high speed. Does at least get one in return, but an attempt from Another to break in through the rooftops is proving to be disastrous.
It's certainly not easy, and now with the Victory Lords reaching those 40 kills, it's looking to be over. Victory Lords, they want to end the semifinal early on, and they are so close that they can taste it. They have got military support quite a lot compared to Another, and it certainly has helped them out once again.
Only halfway through the second game as far as time goes. Victory of Lords, they've absorbed the offensive maneuvers of the Korean squad, who, all credit to them, they have done almost twice as well as they did in the first game. But when you're dealing with the Lords, getting better isn't enough. You have to be the best.
You certainly have, and you know what kind of fit right now? Victory Lords, they are the best. They just need 2 more kills, and they have 3 minutes to find that. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. There we go. PRG finding one more kill, and it will all be over. And there we go. Cheeto. No one but Cheeto can get that last kill. And Victory of Lords, they take this semi-final 2-0.
And what I liked as well, a little detail that I didn't quite notice right up until the very end, was the use of the sapper throwing up the turret on the roof there of that little confined room right in the center. That shotgun turret just making it an impossible situation for the Korean squad, who go down 0-2. Victory of Lords, they've guaranteed their place in the finals. Now we just need to find out who is going to join them.
Well, kind of that is going to be in our second semi-final, which should be coming up after the break. It's going to be New Era versus Private Clan. I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, it should be a fantastically competitive game. But thanks to Hunter, our moderator Hunter, I know we've got a couple of different Hunters, even our breaks are exciting on this stream because we will host the community game that's during the break while we're getting set up for the next one. So let's go to, let's just say overtime with ESL 1, 2, 3. From there, you'll be able to join in and show off your skills live on stream.
Well,
Okay.
oh, sorry. No, Peter, please go.
Well, I was going to say, for a lot of you guys who are watching this, you think that you could compete at the kind of level you're seeing here today, which is currently the top level of MC5 esports competition, the highest stakes, then playing these community games is a great way to meet people, impress the players you may well be playing with down the line.
That is true, kind of fit. And for you guys, obviously getting onto the stream and just showing kind of fit and I what you guys are made of would also be a good way for us to notice you. Well, I'm certainly going to be noticing any good MC5 players, because you know what? It is impressive being able to be this good on a tablet.
Corona Vincente, you try with a sad face. Well, I mean, I'm not sure it's the right attitude to be going into kind of defeated out of the gate, but hey, you know, Corona, let's life coach you here. It's not about how good other people are relative to you, it's about how much better you are at the end of every game. So focus on your own improvement, and soon you'll be playing for those big prizes, at least sooner than you think.
Ooh, sooner than I think. But kind of fit, if I don't think, then when would that be?
Corona's still spamming sad faces. Yeah, I've often discussed this with people, but yeah, that's the very this might be a bit too obvious, but I think it's still geez, people with horribly inappropriate names, lovely. Apparently, there's no name filters. Who would have thunk it? But yeah. So just to kind of like to expand on that a little bit, you can never control how good the players you are playing against you are.
Mm-hmm.
You can only ever control how well you play. So it's just, I feel like any game is really just a series of decisions, and if you're making the right decisions enough, then you'll eventually, you know, start climbing the ladder and doing better. But I wouldn't worry about if you're playing against people and they're killing you all the time, like. Then just, you know, you can if you don't want to die, you can just hide in your base for the whole game. There you go, sorted.
Whoa, kind of fit, you are so smart. Why can't I be like you? Just hide in my base for the entire game.
I don't know. It's
I wish.
It's a lifetime achievement award, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's impressive.
Alright, let's just get rid of that player. Boink. Sorry about that, guys. Try and keep people with horribly inappropriate names off the stream. Unfortunately, don't have the tools to be able to really do that, but actually I'll have to remember to report them next time. So Hunter, so not the moderator Hunter, but I don't know how to refer to the other Hunter. I guess other Hunter. I was talking about how the commander has definitely taken a huge leap forward in popularity recently, and that's very much the case. I think it's just, well, the Severance is pretty darn strong. I've seen people picking up the Severance shotgun, the commander's tier 7, I believe. Or might be tier 6, doesn't really matter. But that Severance shotgun, like, even when they're not commanders, and they don't have the shield to pull on. So, I don't know. I think maybe the Severance shotgun might be a bit too strong, if everybody's using it, but hey. I don't know, dealers. We'll have to see. Certainly there are distinct counters to the commander, like the Imp sniper rifle gets some of its damage through the commander shield.
Yeah.
And, you know, just stuff like that, really.
Yeah, well, you're definitely not wrong, kind of it. Though, I will say that I would always run away from a commander if I saw him coming at me. That shield is big and scary.
Oh, for sure. Alright. Excuse me just a second. I'm just gonna quickly, let's see, other reasons. Alright, let's get on to the community game. Apologies, we can't actually really prevent players from joining the lobby, though I have just reported them. But we'll catch you guys on the other side. We should have our other semi-finals between New Era and Private Clan coming up in just a few minutes' time. But for now, enjoy the community games, show off your skills, and perhaps earn yourselves a bright new future. See you guys in a few minutes' time. Alright, guys, well done. And, oh boy, Hannibal. That is some crazy numbers, but Niru over on the other side. And Salvador, both putting in some pretty good. So any of you guys who run any MC5 teams, if those guys aren't on teams already, perhaps you should give them a look-see. For now though, we are waiting on our New Era versus Private Clan second semi-finals. So, with that in mind, we're going to quickly jump out of the Battle Royale battlefield. If we don't have our next match, by the time we're done there, we will bring you guys back in again to play another community game and perhaps impress the world.
Well, Confid, I am sure that you are about to impress the entire world with your bad MC5 skills.
Ah, I'm assuming it's one of those, you know, reverse word kind of things. Oh boy, well, we started off pretty well. In a game that's semifinal already.
Wait, can I join? No, I can't. That's too late. No.
Not cool enough. All right.
Unfortunately.
So we will be back with our official ESL competition. Let's go for the Institute because we're trying to either win or lose very quickly, and that's one good way to do it because we've got full load at the Institute. It's gonna get messy real quickly. Ooh, tier 3 armor though. People who are skilled at the game can actually really do a number on you just by headshotting you, even with the basic pistol. When you've got tier 3 armor, like you can feel almost invincible if you're firing at someone who's not headshotting you, but if they are, then it can all be over rather quickly. Let's go and pick a fight. Ooh, they've got them. So there you go. You always want to be, as is the PUBG term, third-partying everybody, where you just come and join in the fight.
Counterfeit, we have a game ready.
Oh, we do? Well, in that case, let's not worry about Battle Royale. Let's give it a go. So, New Era versus Private Clan. This should be one of our most competitive games of the tournament. So guys, prepare yourselves. So Deedless, you're supporting Private Clan. I'm supporting New Era. Of course, we attempt to remain, you know, somewhat unbiased. But, I'm going to throw it out the window. I'm going to be as biased as possible.
Doesn't surprise me, man. Doesn't surprise me.
But I'm shocked you're not surprised.
I know you're a biased man. That's why people, they don't want to gamble with you. Because you cheat. I think, man. Maybe.
Cheat to win. It's always been the, a successful strategy. Guys, so we're starting up our second semi-final. Victory of Lords have already made their way through to the first grand finals place. A total of 500 euros on the line in the grand finals. You're guaranteed 150 for just making it in, but 350 euros awaits whichever team you can win out this best of 5. Only one of New Era and Private Clan will even get that opportunity. Hunter, I think this game might already decide the ending. Yeah, there's a good chance whoever wins out this semi-final could go on to win the whole tournament. I mean, as we said from the start, Victory of Lords, New Era, Private Clan, those were the 3 teams in the tournament that we fully expected to have the best chance of winning, and we're fortunate in that we get to see nearly every combination of those 3 playing today.
Yes, and you know what, Counterfeit? I think that this semi-final is going to be very interesting. If one of the teams look as dominant as Victory of Lords did in their semi-final, then I think that the grand final is going to be very close. If not, then I'm a bit afraid that the Victory of Lords, they're just going to run away with it.
That's a distinct possibility. Let's take a look at some of the players we've got playing on these 2 teams. As you mentioned before, we've definitely seen Darren around a lot. Issa St. L, we saw, I believe it was in our PC competition before, I want to say. Or it might have actually been just yesterday. But either way around it, they were very, very scary. On the other side of the equation for New Era, Amin Rad has been really, really nasty, as has D-Pat, who is, of course, known as not D-Pat, BTW.
Everyone is about to have loaded in, it seems like. We're just waiting on one guy. So we will have the official MC5 action coming up soon.
Yes, Razor Gaming, this is squad versus squad. Alright guys, we'll take a very small break then while we wait for the last private clan member to arrive. Should only be a few moments more. But when we return, our last semi-final of the Red Monthly Finals for April will be getting started. And we shall find out who shall join the Lords in the finals. Welcome back, everybody. Our second semi-final is here as New Era and Private Clan, the USA and Italy, clash once more. New Era, they made it through to the grand finals last monthly tournament. Private Clan, they've got a lot to prove, but they've been doing a lot of proving recently.
They certainly have counterfeit, and now we are on advantage, so that obviously means that we're going to see a lot of slow play, but Private Clan, they don't care about slow play. They're just reaching up here on this staircase, but 3 quick kills to the New Era as they just cut them down.
Yeah, Private Clan taking a little bit of hammering from the off as Bug tries to fight back and get some territory, find that first kill. Itza, we noted before as being potentially a very strong player for the squad. Currently on the Commanders, we noticed, Hunter noticed before, again, the Commanders getting a lot more love recently, and a great way to find that flank around, hits the sniper line of New Era, and now Private Clan are the ones in the lead.
Yeah, well, Private Clan now with 2 kills, but immediately New Era, they fight back. Private Clan, they only have 1 sniper compared to the 2 of New Era, and it's helping out New Era quite a lot here on this map, having those 2 snipers. YOLO and Amirat, they have 2 out of those 8 kills, and it just means that you have a bit more flexibility when you're fighting at a range.
It's getting pretty brutal, as we said. This is going to probably be one of our most competitive series of the day. You can see both teams, they started out with a more sniper focus, but now it's all face-to-face fighting. And it looks like Private Clan are actually starting to take a fairly convincing lead.
And they are coming out ahead. They do have a lot of good players who are working right here on this close quarters combat, especially Isael having 7 out of those 19 kills. But we can't take too much pride away from Darren. He's sitting at 4 kills and 1 death. So these 2 guys, they're carrying quite a big load here for the Private Clan.
You can see Kevin trying to fight from the lower rounds there. Does get taken out of the competition as Darren, yes. You mentioned before. Starting to really take off. Let's check in with them. Oh. Well, they'll get taken out as soon as we do. How rude. How very rude, but at least that's some good news for New Era.
But honestly, nonetheless, Counterfeit. It's 19-29, and Private Clan, they're coming way out ahead here against the New Era squad. Private Clan, they just need to keep up with the pace that they're running right now. 20 more kills now, make that 19, and they will be in goal.
You can see Issa St. L taking shelter behind the shield, but Kevin is there, has got the imp, as we mentioned before, able to punch through at least a degree of the protection of the Commander's shield because of the AoE effect on each of its bullets that passes through. Does that 40 damage through, and a good way of finishing off. Still though, New Era behind by 9 as we come close to the halfway mark.
They are so close here on the side of Private Clan. 13 more kills and New Era, they're not catching up. It's looking like Vantage will be Private Clan's match, but Streets will be up next. And that is a map rather, that could swing both ways, depending on which team gets that lead to begin with. Then it just means a lot of brawling, and right now, even though we are seeing a lot of brawling, New Era could certainly come out ahead on that map.
Victory Lords, I'm sure, watching this game with great interest, Stress and the rest of them, eagerly awaiting their chance to grapple with whoever comes out on top of this series. It's certainly looking like Private Clan, they've got this first game more or less on lockdown, but we've got at least one more game to play after this.
At least one more, Counterfeit, and that means a lot for New Era, because with them probably about to fall here in our first game of the second semifinal, they need at least one more chance to make that comeback. If they can do so, we're going to a third game and a deciding game.
Streets will be our next destination as Private Clan seem to have conquered Vantage. New Era, let's take a look across that score. Deepak certainly doing well, but Issa St. L just living up to the hype as we see some smoke grenades going down. Dealers, I'm so happy people are actually using the smoke grenades now. But it's not going to be the difference maker here if that was a New Era smoke. 2 kills away for the Private Clan.
Well, Counterfeit, 2 more. As you said, it's going to be very hard to make that comeback. And I think one thing we need to address here for New Era will be the military support in the next game. Because military support-wise, you had 10 military supports coming out for Private Clan. So that just means that once they get control, they will start to snowball. Because with the bombers and with the airstrikes coming in, it makes it a lot harder for New Era to make that comeback. But on the other side, Counterfeit, we also have to mention that New Era, they got 7 explosive kills compared to the 0 from Private Clan in this game, which means that if they can keep that up on the streets, where it's all about fighting around a middle settlement, those grenades could come in very, very handy.
So Issa and Darren, the ones to watch from Private Clan. D-Pat from New Era. As we said before, streets will be our next destination. So we'll find out what these two have got in store for us as our semi-final continues. Victory of Lords awaits for the victor. But who shall it be? Find out in just a few minutes' time. We'll see you then. Welcome back. One last chance for the New Era to claim their place in the Grand Finals as we head to the streets. The Private Clan look pretty good thanks to Issa and Darren, but perhaps D-Pat can be a big enough difference maker to push the Era into Game 3.
And as we mentioned before we went into this game, New Era, they got a lot of explosive kills in the first game. 8 kills compared to the 0 of Private Clan, and now with this being a map where it's all about the middle settlement, those grenades could come in handy.
Yeah, we can see what we saw before, especially with the and again we're going to be seeing Issa on that sapper, getting down on those military support turrets, and of course some extra regular turrets as well in the central part of the map can be crucial to making sure your team maintains control.
It certainly could but we're seeing a lot of action already here between Private Clan and New Era. Sometimes streets will just be all about one team protecting themselves all the way over to the west, but no, between Private Clan and New Era, we're seeing fighting all the time. And remember I said that I wanted to see one team come out and really give a dominant performance, or I thought it would be hard for them to go up against the Victory of Lords in the Grand Final. I definitely still think that is the case.
Well, Suthi is doing a really good job with that nice golden shred for the support, controlling the central pace for New Era. That while the Era might be behind, it's not the route that it ended up being in the last game. An 11 kill difference between the two squads to end out Game 1. This time round, New Era, they're close enough behind that a comeback is by no means an impossibility.
That is true, but we need to see New Era just come up and show something new. Like in the last game, Private Clan, they got a lot of military support, which let them get all the support that they needed to get those airstrikes and bombers in. Right now, sitting at 6 military supports compared to New Era's 1. So Private Clan, once again, getting the help from above.
The other hunter had a very good point, which is that we're seeing the combination of turrets with smoke, because apparently, though I haven't seen this myself, but I can certainly believe it's the case, that while the smoke grenades will block player sight, it won't block turret sight, so you'll be able to get some untraded shots a little bit more easily.
You know what, New Era, they're still very, very close, just 2 kills behind now, so it's getting closer between the two teams, but Private Clan is still in the lead, still keeping them at an arm's length, and this time around, they're also getting way more explosive kills. It's 5 compared to the 2 of New Era. New Era not pulling out their strengths this time around, and it's looking like it's hurting them quite a lot.
4 minutes left to play. Private Clan are in the lead, but throughout pretty much the whole game, New Era have been keeping up pretty well. Big Brain Zenith there with the shred, pouring out the damage for New Era. D-Pat we saw do well before has not taken flight. It's been almost entirely Suthi who is also on the shred. Of course, it's great if you're fighting towards a very central area to be able to chuck down that health pack and get a massive amount of healing for your team.
But New Era, they're falling further and further behind It's 35 to 32 now. New Era, they're not exactly catching up onto Private Clan. Private Clan still ahead. And at this point in time, I'm starting to wonder, will we have 2 quick semifinals? Because Private Clan, they are close to taking down New Era.
Well, the situation keeps threatening to change. New Era just behind by 2. 3 minutes left to go. I can't, as much as I came into this, I think I was supporting New Era. My bias is, I'm not seeing New Era doing quite enough. It's going to come down to a final fight, I think. A final push where New Era need to change the flow of the game. Private Clan, they've got control of the center. New Era can't afford to fight them where they're strongest.
Oh, but now Era, they have equalized the scores, 42 to 42. The American squad are catching up to the Italian squad, but Private Clan are getting that 1 kill. And we're coming down to the very last kill between these two teams.
Private Clan, they win out those last trades convincingly. A long-range roam from Deepak may come back to haunt the American squad, as it's been 5 versus 4. Elaborate strategies sometimes need to take the back seat to just straightforward presence, and Private Clan will take the clean 2-0. They're headed to the finals to face off against the Victory of Lords.
But I said going into the semi-final that New Era, they needed to work with their explosive kills, and they needed to stop the military support from coming in to help Private Clan. It didn't work out. New Era, they fell behind in explosive kills. There were like 8 explosive kills behind, and they were 12 military support behind. They got 15 military support on the side of Private Clan, and it helped them once again completely control the game.
Well, guys, we have to recognise Suthi for putting in some real hard work. Best performing player in that whole game, but ultimately it wasn't enough to save the New Era. So the semi-finals are done, but we need you guys' presence once again. So if you'd like to play live on stream, then please use the passkey ESL123. We're setting up the community game right now. The best of 5 grand finals is only a few minutes away. So here we go. Dealers, where shall we make what should be our most likely last community game of the day?
Let's go to... Let's go to the rooftops.
Alright, raise the roof. Come and join us, gentle friends, one and all, as we prepare ourselves Victory of Lords and Private Clan. They've both proven themselves dominant so far, but in best of 5, everything could change. The adaptation of the teams will be tested. I kind of feel like at the moment, I'm kind of giving it over more to Victory of Lords, just because I feel like Private Clan had to work really hard to get their 2 games, whereas the Lords were able to, to plow through theirs quite a lot quicker.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how this grand final pans out. Just seeing how dominant Victory Lords they were in their semi-final, and kind of it's kind of going to be a hard task for Private Clan as well, seeing as how Victory Lords they just in the past 1 month they have been looking lackluster, but now they're coming in here with a lot of fire. So I feel like you have to have a lot of respect for this legendary team being able to find their way back.
Oh, for sure. It's one of those things, isn't it? There's only so much time in the sun. Shameless, welcome. Let's get you added up as a friendo. And guys, please do keep coming in. We'll start things up once we've got 4 players taking part. Though we will, of course, leave it so that you guys can come and join even when the game is underway. Let's see. Hunter, you'd like it if the commander could pick up weapons on the ground? I think it's an interesting idea. I suspect there's probably concerns about combinations of having a shield and having certain kinds of weapons, of being too strong as to why they can't do that. I don't know, dealers. What do you reckon?
I think being able to pick up weapons from the ground should be a thing for every single class. I don't see why one class should be disqualified from doing that.
I'd imagine that if it was if commanders were picking up weapons, they probably would have to give up their shield to do so, just because I don't know. I could see probably some kind of weird edge cases where someone just becomes ludicrously good if they can find the right weapon, and I don't know if that's necessarily part of the intended design of the class. To have people with like sniper rifles behind giant shields. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, apparently no one wants to come in and play on the rooftops. Why not, guys? Rooftops is one of my favorite maps.
We've got Shameless and Shim, but we need at least a couple more folks. For any of you guys, if you'd like to see any new bits and pieces being added to the tournaments, any changes of maps, game modes, etc., do send in an email to moderncombatcommunity@gmail.com that goes directly through to Redo, the community manager, and they'll be able to pass your suggestions, concerns, comments to the team themselves. And honestly, Dulzy, who is currently running a podcast on the official MC5 channel, is a really good example of that. He suggested rules changes specifically, which gets discussed on the ESL MC5 Discord, and sometimes they get implemented as well.
Yeah. Well, kind of fit. It's not looking like a lot of teams they want to play on rooftops. Maybe we should change the map. Which map is your favorite? Let's go to that one.
I'll tell you what. Let's jump out of here for a second. If it looks like everyone else is currently in a game, let's kill a little bit of time with Battle Royale, and we'll come back to this again. I don't want to do 2 lobbies if we don't have the folks for it. That's fine. Actually, where is that? So if you... Wait, did they change out the feedback channel on the ESL Modern Combat Discord? Am I just missing where it is?
No, it's still in the general one.
Oh, there it is. I just minimized it. Let's see. Yes, so Dulzy's got some suggestions in the ESL feedback channel at the moment. If you head across to the ESL Modern Combat Discord, which I'll put the link to in the chat, you can thumbs up and thumbs down different suggestions, and if something gets enough support, then there's a very good chance it will get implemented. ESL Discord. There you go, guys, on Facebook and on YouTube. Alright, so dealers, let's see if we can find our fortunes as we wait for the grand finals to begin.
Don't shoot the dealer's plane.
Oh man, I put so much work into trying to get that to be a thing. Just nobody ever went for it, so I've just given up.
Okay then. Let's just give up on it then.
I'm sorry that you cannot become a Mei.
You know what, man? My casting is a meme in and of itself.
Well,
so
we can get the dealer's tree. There you go. That's something.
Hey, thank you.
Right. So let's chuck ourselves out somewhere. Let's go for the South Village. That looks like it's going to be up. We'll be having some good times in the various villages, because they usually turn into absolute bloodbaths very quickly. But there's enough terrain to be able to disengage if you want to as well. Good sniper. Okay armor. Couple of attachments. A decent start. But yes, as dealers, you mentioned before, the players who can really aim very, very well on iOS. Man, it is tough. It's tough. I've never quite got the hang of it myself.
Yeah, man, I think aiming on PC is hard, and at least I have like a computer mouse on PC. So that is very helpful.
Hey! I did stuns, shoots them in the head. Oh, hello. Here's a new Panther. Where did they go? Lost them. There's a bit of a maze in here. I'm hoping at some point some of these Battle Royale sections here can get turned into multiplayer maps, because they're pretty fun.
Yeah, some of them certainly are.
What have we got here? Another sniper? Probably don't need another one. I suppose it doesn't hurt to pick it up.
So Peter, I have a question for you. Where do you think you place your snipers once you're done with them? Like, do you place them in your back pocket?
Well, you strap them to your back, don't you? They'll tend to have a strap, so you put the strap across your chest and it will just sit on your back. I mean, it's not really practical to have 2 sniper rifles that way. I think you would probably just fall over. Jack Dark, if you want to get a message to Redo, again, use that email address up at the top of the screen. That's generally going to be the best way to get hold of them. Or you can message them on Discord. I think it's a little tougher to get hold of someone specific through the Twitter and Facebook. So I give that email address a try if you haven't already.
People, they usually tend to respond by email a bit faster anyway.
Yeah. Man, there were supposed to be a lot of people here, but I don't know if they just killed each other or if they just left. But I suppose we're going to have to leave, because we've only found a couple of health packs, and that's not so good. Hef, 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 hef. Putin, welcome, welcome. We are just doing a little bit of Battle Royale to kill some time before our grand finals gets underway. So I hope you'll come and join us for that. And hopefully, have yourself a grand old time while doing so. Oop.
Run, and jump.
Hello.
Can I be a backpacker while you run?
I feel like a little green man's on my shoulders. It's holding me back.
Stop swinging from a hairy wine.
Hairy wine?
Hairy wine.
That doesn't sound delicious at all.
It doesn't. That's why you shouldn't be swinging from it. What are you doing? You're out in the open, man. You're gonna get shot. Or at least you deserve to be shot.
Oh man, that's a harsh thing to say.
Well, stop making mistakes then.
Well, I will admit that it's probably not the most sensible idea in the world to be hanging around in a field while snipers abound. It's really hard in this kind of more open area not to just get randomly shot from someone you never saw. But, oh, hello.
Nice. Good job, Peter. I am very, very proud of you.
Thanks.
If only I could be as good as you.
You'll get there, man. You'll get there. Well, there we go. We got to kind of demonstrate that whole fact to someone else. So I suppose we should probably stop. Should probably do what they didn't do, which is actually look around a little bit. Oh, hello.
Oh, he ran back. He ran back. He ran back. Oh no, someone shot him. There he is. He's behind that big tree.
Yeah, imagine
nice.
A shot.
Yeah, you 1 out of 11. Cool.
Yeah, I wasn't really leading enough. Alright, well, all that really did was strip away a health pack or two. Let's duck into here and have a look around, see if there's anything going. I think there's a lot of dead people. I think it's quite hard to actually just find all of the loot in here, so... Oh, hello. Marvellous. Alright, we're in a pretty good spot. Let's freshen up our armour. I think the only thing we're really missing is health packs, but I suspect our time here might be a little bit limited by the encroaching blue.
You're the one limiting yourself, man. You can stay out in the blue for as long as you want.
Oh, no, I don't think I can. Because I'm getting shot in the butt. Let's see if I can... honestly, I just want to get away from that situation because I didn't have a clue where they were. And that is bad news. Alright, we're going to burn through a bunch of stuff here to try and... Actually, we're going to go around and come back on the person who was attacking us.
Well, I definitely think you should be shooting them.
If I can see him, I'll shoot him.
Just kill them.
Well, if it was that easy, I would have done it already.
Of course it's that easy. Man, don't you know how to shoot?
There they are. Well, there's someone. I think they possibly ran down here. Ah, crud.
You can do it, Peter. Come on, you can do it. Come on, kill him, knife, no!
Ah!
Someone else killed you. Someone else.
An elk killed me.
No!
Oh no, I freaked out because they got up to close range and I couldn't turn myself fast enough. Yeah.
Well, that happens, unfortunately.
Alright, let's see if we've got any updates.
Nope. I'll let you know. We do not.
Alright. Well, ESL 1, 2, 3. Let's do a free-for-all. Let's try somewhere. Let's go for overtime. Doesn't get enough attention. Man, I don't think we're here for this possibly, but for a long time, overtime was, it was part of the game, then got taken out again. I'm not actually sure why. Maybe some of the people in the chat will be able to supply that reason. And then it came back again. And yeah, I don't know. I don't actually know how people feel about it now it actually came back, because people were kind of campaigning for it to come back for a long time. But now it has. I don't know what people think. If it lived up to how they remembered it being. I assume it's pretty similar to how it once was, but I don't know. So come and join ESL 123. Show off your skills.
Okay, so in 5 minutes we should have a key.
Oh, marvelous.
Marvelous.
Hey Punchy Gamer, welcome to the stream. Please do come and join us. If you're on iOS, Big Gorilla and Hero Gaming Simon chilling out in the chat. So yes, Jack Jark, I hope you get to figure out whatever it is. Well, that's account stuff going on with Redo. Though I don't think he actually directly deals with that kind of stuff, but hopefully he can direct you on to somebody who does. So we've got Salvador. Can we find Salvador a friend? Let's see. El
Hopefully
Salvador.
we can.
What's the nearest country to El Salvador? Guatemala?
Nice.
I think we've got a player called Guatemala. I hope they're friends. Hey JJ Diedrix, welcome to the Facebook stream. We are just setting up for our last community game of the day before we get into our grand finals. Aviator Featured is setting things up.
Yeah, so join up, guys. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, we already saw some pretty strong performances, as we said before. Yeah, this is a chance to show off and be part, kind of almost like a job interview, I feel, for one of our ESL teams down the line. I know, Nightbot is taking out Gacha Boy. Well, that's probably for a pretty good reason. We'd ask everyone to moderate their language when it comes to the chat, but also, if you type in caps, then Nightbot will... Okay. I think Gacha Boy needs to have a longer time to think about their life choices. Sorry about that. Big Gorilla Chan. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Big Gorilla's all kinds of lonely. Let's see if
Oh,
we can
no.
find him some friends.
No, Big Gorilla. I don't want you to be lonely. That hurts my feelings.
JJ
I want to be your friend, Big Gorilla.
If your progress is gone on MC5, please do get in touch with support.gameloft.com. That will get no wwws in there. That will get you through to customer care, and they can help you out with account issues. We're just humble streamers. We don't have access to accounts of any kind, but they should be able to help you out. I imagine they've got a record of everything, because that sucks. I'd hate to lose all of the unlocks and stuff. So JJ Dredrix, I hope it works out well for you.
Me too, man. Me too. Crossing my fingers.
Who will come and join us, gentle friends?
Oh. It's looking like we might have a key. At least we're getting closer to one.
Oh, interesting. It looks like there's been an admin decision as in regards to our finals, and it's a high-stakes conversation. As I'll tell you what, there we go. We've got 3. We'll get started. We'll update you guys in a few minutes' time once the finals are ready to begin. But make sure that you are ready the best of 5 for a €500 prize pool. It's coming up after the break. The grand finals are here. What stands at the top of the mountain is the throne the Lords have occupied before. But New Era are here. They want to take that place for themselves, the lion's share of the prize. It all starts here on Vantage. Dealers, who do you think is going to take this first game and the momentum?
Oh, I'm gonna give it over to the victory of Lords. I believe that they are looking way better coming from their semifinal, and in the past they have been amazing counterfeit. But we have to mention, obviously, that New Era and Victory Lords, they have traded wins as of recently.
Yeah, this should be extremely close. So again, we've had an admin decision which has moved New Era to the finals ahead of Private Clan. So we'll see if New Era can find redemption. Certainly, they have got D-Pat, who was able to put out a sterling performance in the previous game. We can see rocking the Cog V with a fairly serious looking scope there for the generally longer range fighting that will happen here on Vantage.
Oh, that's a scope that I don't want to get into the middle of, and D-Pad not having found a kill yet is quite surprising, but there we go. Amirat, however, will find that kill, not D-Pad, but Victory Lords, they are finally on the scoreboard, finding their first kill. Stress follows up with another one, and Counterfeit, we're seeing a lot of action coming out here. Dranic will also find one, and it just trades back and forth as Amirat finishes out with a shotgun kill.
Dranic somehow surviving that whole thing. Now 3-0 so far, with the Bramston in hand, looking to try and advance the cause of the French team further. Victory Lords, they've got control of the bottom of the map, but New Era, they're coming charging in once again.
But coming out from that quick fight here, it was Victory Lords just doing way better. They got 3 assists, which meant that they were able to cover each other way better, and now you can see that is the fruit of their labors, coming out with 4 kills in the lead.
The Lords taking a convincing win in that last fight. It is Dranic who is so far untouched from the French team's side. The recon with the Bramston is working out extremely well. I think might be a decent matchup against the Commander because of its ability to get round behind that shield and force through the kills.
That is a good point, Counterfeit. And right now, Victory Lords, they are forcing these kills through. It's not necessarily against the commanders from New Era, but it's just overall against New Era. Victory Lords ahead by 10 kills. And New Era, they had a fair showing in their semifinal. They kept up against their opponents in game number 2. But right here, in the grand final, they are now getting a hammer against Victory Lords.
Dranic continues to be up at the top of the table, but you can see a very small spread between the best and least accomplished members. Even Cheeto at the bottom of the table is 2-0 so far undefeated. The Lords looking very good here on Vantage. Their sniping prowess seems to be without peer.
Ooh, but D-Pad will at least take down Mac. And that's going to be a good start for them. But New Era, they're still way too far behind. So they need to really pull something out of their hat and show us something new. Because with the way that the Victory Lords they have been playing, they have also just snowballed this game into their control.
Yeah, Dranic 7-2 so far. We've seen this consistently from the French team. They are willing to go for these risky trades. We again and again, when we switch the camera to the French team, the Lords players, they are very, very low health. and they've taken a risky trade. They've come out ahead of it. The calculation from the Lords here just shows their overwhelming experience.
Like we've mentioned a lot of times today, Counterfeit, military support gives you a lot of easy tools to find kills, to gain the information that you need to take down your opponents. And Victory Lords, they're using that to their advantage once again, coming in with 8 military supports compared to the 0 of New Era. It definitely shows the difference between a team with a lot of military support and a team with 0 military support.
It's looking pretty amazing for the Lords as we're coming to just past 2.5 minutes remaining. I don't know if we're going to get to go all the way to a score finish here, but New Era, they're in real trouble. Let's see, so D-Pad is, yes, currently still their top performing player, but 4 kills, 4 deaths. You compare that across the Draenic, it's not even close. And Amenrad, who we had such high hopes for, has, I think, been just getting into sniper battles with the Lords, and it has not worked out at all.
Amenrad got a lot of kills to begin with, Counterfeit, but then just started to fall off, and it's looking like the same for New Era. They got those 2 early kills to begin with, kept Victory Lords away from them, kept themselves away from harm, but now the Victory Lords, they are so far ahead, and with 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining, New Era, they are running out of gas, and are not getting to catch up with the Victory of Lords, it looks like.
Hunter, one of our moderators and one of our admins, just dropping by the stream. Nice to see you, Hunter, even if you can't be with us for this tournament. Yeah, I do appreciate everything you've done for the scene. So 1 minute and change left. The Lords, they seem to be in a insurmountable lead. Big Brain does at least get 1 back for the New Era squad, but I think it's only comfort food for the team from the USA in blue. There's no way to catch up anymore.
Yeah, well, 55 seconds left. It's 19 to 34. And the Victory Lords, they're just that far ahead. The French squad, most likely going to take the first game here in this best of 5 grand final. Amenrad and the rest of New Era, they need to find way more kills than the Victory Lords, and they need to start finding them now, because we're coming down to the last stretch. And Draenic, I think that's going to be the last nail in the coffin. Getting a kill there against New Era just puts them way above New Era.
So definitely not what we would have been expecting coming into this one. I mean, we've got a lot of snipers in the field from both sides. But Draenic, on with the very short range Bramson, is the one who's picking up the majority of the kills for the team. Cheeto is definitely providing that traditional fire support with the sniper, but Drainic's just getting mixed up in the fights again and again, and really pumping up those vol numbers.
He certainly is Counterfeit, and the Victory Lords, they got a lot of military support in this game, helped them to just control the pace of the game. And New Era, even though it looked good for them to begin with, they didn't get close at all. Draenic and the rest of his team, looking like a team that everyone can help put in the work. 10, 8, 7, 7, and 6. That's the scoreline you want to see from a team who's in the leading position.
So, 24 for the New Era, 39, a difference of 15 between the two squads. It's kind of interesting that Cheeto down right near the bottom of the scoreboard with the best KDA in the game by a good margin. But Draenic, just always part of the action. Guys, we are just getting started for our grand finals here today, so stay tuned. We shall return. Game 2 of the grand finals, Victory of Lords versus New Era, coming up in just a few minutes' time. Welcome back, gentle friends. Our grand finals of our Red April monthly finals continues as we head now to the construction site. The Lords won out by 15 kills before, thanks to Draenic and Cheeto. Can New Era salvage it?
No, I believe that New Era, even though it looked good for them to begin with, they are just way too far away from making this a comeback counterfeit. And right now, Victory Lords, they're coming out swinging once again.
We noticed before, Draenic making use of that Bramson, that recon class, to punch through an awful lot of damage, even on maps like before, like Vantage, and now on the construction site where long-range firepower tends to be valued.
Well, counterfeit, it would be nice to see New Era put up a better fight here against the Victory Lords, but right now it's just looking very, very unlikely. Victory Lords, they are already extremely far ahead, and they're starting to rack up those military supports, currently rocking 2 for themselves compared to 0 from New Era. And if you guys have been listening a lot, you know that military support is something that I've talked a lot about today, and it is something that helps teams quite a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hitting a good airstrike or bombing run, or even the artillery strike from the new style of military support can be a huge difference maker. As you can see, Draenic gonna be running around the lower bounds of the construction site, prowling in the darkness, waiting for a New Era member to poke their head above the parapet.
New Era, they are falling quite far behind counterfeit. It's 4-14, and it's not looking good for them at all. We thought that they might have been able to put up a better fight against VOL in game number 2, and also considering that in the recent past, New Era, they have been able to trade wins against VOL. It's just not looking like their day at all, unfortunately.
Now, the Victory of Lords, they have sole possession of the sniper's nest. We have got multiple flanking members working their way around, but New Era's flanker gets taken to pieces. Draenic is still lurking in the basement. The only hope is perhaps YOLO sneaking around the side, but with the recon aircraft up in the air and New Era confined for the most part to the insides of the construction site, they may have trouble keeping their positions hidden.
Well, for Victory Lords, they're not staying hidden at all, counterfeit. They're coming out fighting, and they are just looking to go ham here against New Era. We're looking at Suffolk finding himself at the bottom of the scoreboard. But unfortunately for New Era, counterfeit, if you could please take that scoreboard up, you would see that everyone is struggling. The top scorer, Amarat, 3-5. That is not a good look.
Not at all. It's seeming like we might be getting more of the same from the Lords who yearn to reclaim their throne once again. The lion's share of the prize, as well as the prestige of being the best in the red tournament, is on the line here, and it's looking like the Lords, they're making a promise here of a clean line through 3 games in a row.
The Lords who yearn, counterfeit. Now, I know it's a word, I know it's definitely a right word, counterfeit, but all I can remember is Monty Python and the Knights who say, yeah. Sorry, the Knights who say knee.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking of. That's the only thing I can think of when you say the Lords who yearn.
Well, that is vital information for sure.
Anyway, back to the grand final.
I can definitely see that right now it's we're not seeing too much in the way of signs of resistance. Big Brain Zenith, their top scorer at the moment. Suthi, man, the only person left out on the field for a while. New Era, they've tried to mount a defense from the top of the map. It's not working at all. I can certainly see why the mind might start to turn elsewhere, as the Lords, they are making the case for themselves as the best team we have seen for the Red Regional play for quite some time.
They certainly are counterfeit, and they are miles ahead of the competition right now. 16-38. New Era, they're getting a beating. And honestly, VOL, if they keep this up, they're going to take the grand final 3-0. And it would be just amazing to see anyone being able to take down this team in the near future, seeing as how they are just dominating New Era here on this map.
It certainly brings back memories of Roxas at their height from the blue regional tournaments. Just to see a team just crush their way through the grand finals like Roxas did before, and the Lords are doing here. Last time it was 15 kills separating the two teams. This time round, we're just a few kills away from that being nearly doubled.
Now just one more kill for the Victory Lords, kind of it. One more, and they will have done it. And once again, the Victory Lords, they gain so much help from the military support. 12 military supports compared to the one of New Era. New Era, they need to start getting those kills so they won't be able to get the airstrikes and the bombers in to help them gain even more kills and develop their own kind of lead. Victory Lords, they are living high off the military support.
Drainit gonna perform extremely well again, as did Cheeto. 10 and 3. Some really crazy good numbers. Shine and Make also putting in some good hits. And Big Brain Zenith. We'll keep our eyes out for them in the next game, but this will be the final chance for New Era to turn this series around. Right now, it's looking less and less likely with every bullet that flies through the air, but it's not done till it is done. Grand Finals Game 3 coming up in just a few moments' time. Welcome back, gentle friends. We head now to the streets for the last chance for New Era. The team from the USA, they have not been able to get out of the blocks as of yet. 24 and 25 kills so far. They've barely gotten one game's worth of kills in 2. And now need to turn this series around if they dare to call themselves our champions.
Man, but New Era, they have a hard task ahead of them. Victory Lords, they have just looked absolutely unstoppable against New Era here today. And in their semifinal as well. Took it in a quick 2-0 fashion. But New Era at least starting to put up a better performance from the start. But as I say that, the Victory Lords, they equalize the score. It's 4-4.
Man, you see some absolute fearlessness from the French players there as Shine, on like 3% health or something, just runs right up to the opposition, doesn't even hesitate for a moment. 5-5. The best start New Era I think could have realistically asked for, as the brawling is mostly confined to the center of the map. Who's picking up those numbers? It's Suthi, who's been the difference maker here. Does get a couple of kills there, but blown up in exchange.
But at least it's looking better now for New Era. And they are ahead, actually, against VOL. Still, no military support to see come in from them, so they're not getting that control that we want to see from them.
It's looking like New Era are spreading themselves out a little bit, as they've got Kevin BTW up on the top for fire support. But this is the closest so far. Zenith is pumping in the bullets to the interior. Looks like the Lords, though, they've managed to take it over. And I think they might even manage to have thrown down a turret to secure their position.
But it's just so close, Counterfeit, and I love what we're seeing. New Era, they're fighting back, but you're right. The Victory Lords staying together with an auto turret. At least this means that they're gonna have each other as a backup. But now they're pushing out. Here we go.
Yeah, you can see the flurry of explosions as New Era somehow hold their ground for a few seconds more. The American team in the lead. It's a neck-and-neck race through this third game. New Era, they have to win. For Victory of Lords, they could afford to lose 2 games in a row and still be champions.
But it must also be said that the more the Victory Lords they lose, the more weaknesses they show against New Era. And thus, New Era having a better chance at making that comeback.
Well, that's very true. Momentum is key here for New Era, and they have kept up that momentum so far in the early going. Zenith getting a couple of kills before going down there. So Suthi, Zenith, and Kevin BTW operating from extreme range with that BSW sniper rifle will get torn up in that last exchange, as the French team in red, the Lords, again, they get back control of the center. They're looking to try and punish New Era, but it's still so very close.
Oh, but actually, New Era keeping themselves ahead, getting way more military support this time around, 6-3. So they are getting that lead, but it's a very fragile one because the Victory Lords, they are keeping up, and at least with their military support, it always goes right.
Yeah, that could be the big swing here if one team or the other starts to pick up those streaks and cash them in and really tear open the center of the map. As New Era, they are starting to win these fights convincingly. The Lords, alarm bells have to be ringing for them because the New Era, they're above 40 kills. And I don't think there's any way we go to time, but we may go up to that big 5-0.
But it's so close, Counterfeit. 42-41. It's coming down to the wire. New Era, they need this. They can't afford to lose against the VOL squad. And Shine, he's doing everything in his power to stop that from happening.
As Shine, the MVP, gets knocked down. Suthi, the 1-2, perhaps finalize, gets knocked in return. As God charges through, the thunder from the DBS rocking through the streets. Victory Lords up 46-46. These last few kills are going to swing it.
3 more for New Era and it will be over, but Victory Lords, they catch their way back. We have 2 minutes and 25 seconds left to go, but I don't think we're going to see that. Zenith spraying and praying, gets 1 kill. Will he get another one? No, he will not, but New Era, they can taste it. 2 more kills, Counterfeit, but Victory Lords, they're just behind. They get 1. It's 48 to 49.
Where's it gonna land? Soothy's gun glowing hard! And New Era!
Wait, what?
What?
It's 50 to 50!
I've never seen that before! What? It looks like Victory Lords, they must have gotten their kill just before. It came up saying the Lords have won, but I have literally never seen that before.
Oh my god, such a hype match. Coming down to 50 to 50. We're definitely gonna have to ask an admin about what to do now, because this is very unusual. But apparently it's a possibility. But still, New Era, they fought so well. And it would just be incredibly punishing for them. And it must be taxing on their mentality as well to lose despite getting so close.
We have been doing these streams for literally years. I would never seen that happen, ever. So let's talk about. I mean, we know obviously we don't have no bearing over the decision, but I honestly don't know how that plays out. You know, in some situations, a draw would mean a win for both sides. In which case, Victory of Lords would have won 3-1. I think the game certainly reckoned it was them who won because it came up with Red Team 1. Just as it ticks across, but
they probably got their kill just like a split second earlier than New Era, but I could imagine that we might have to like replay the entire third game because this is very unusual, and like we kind of need to have a winner.
All right, we'll tell you what, guys. While we try and figure out what the heck just happened, because everything can happen here in the monthly finals, including things we didn't even think were actually possible in the game. So, we'll get you guys into a community game while we await an answer. I don't think any of us have seen that. Let's see, what do you guys reckon? Let's see. Oh yes, apologies guys. I hope in the next update we'll have the kill feed moved across to the side so we can have the map open at the same time and keep our eyes on what is happening. But yeah, I don't know. I suspect there will probably be some very enthusiastic discussion, let's put it that way, over the next few minutes between Aviator Featured Art Admin and the team captains. They try and figure out this unprecedented scenario. Chihiro Gaming, yes, that is a possibility that it's considered to be Vol 3 New Era 1. I don't think the game even has a draw state in that kind of fashion. You know, I've never seen draw come up as an actual outcome. Victory of Lords, it did say that they, you know, that it said Red Team won. I don't know.
Yeah, so you kind of have to imagine that probably it was like what a .001 second between like the two kills or something, because that is unusual. And like you've done this for years, kind of. You haven't seen it, and I've never seen it in all the time that I've done Mon Combat 5, and I think I've been in the scene for what, like 3 years, but I've done this for what, like a year. So it's just a crazy scenario that we have on our hands, guys.
Controversy. But guys, fortunately, we're not admins, so we don't have to worry about figuring out the right solution here. But guys, it looks like we've got enough to get started with. So we'll invite you all to take the center stage while everything is decided backstage. There is a decent possibility we might see a replay on that last game just because it's unprecedented. But it remains to be seen. New Era, they made quite a comeback. So anything could happen. Find out in 7 minutes or less after the community game. Alright guys, welcome back. We are awaiting a final word on the outcome of that last one. Thank you for all of your detective work from the chat. But well, the final arbiter is going to be Aviator Features, so we'll see what they reckon on this extremely unusual situation.
I have never seen anything like this kind of it, and oh wait, I want to join up as well. I want to play a battle royale with you.
Well, you're not stopping you.
No, but don't stop without me.
There's still
Okay,
time.
I'm coming.
There's only 26 people in this game.
I'm joining up.
Joining up.
Joining up. Hey, I think we're in the same game. Nice. Can you throw YOLO in the chat?
Did you know that there are more things down there? If you scroll down the chat thing. My favorite is Bwahaha.
How do I adjust? Oh no. There, customize HUD.
Alright. We're gonna go to South Village. So guys, hopefully some of you all from the stream are in here as well. We're waiting on the final resolution of our surprisingly ended grand finals, which appeared to be a draw, though the game itself thought the Victory of Lords won. I think it might just be their win, but certainly New Era put up on a hell of a performance. So I don't know. Also, we've got a bunny to catch.
Oh man, this is so hard playing this way.
It's not easy being fluffy.
Have you ever played Battle Royale on the emulator?
Hey, not the ears.
Well, we don't talk about such things, dealers.
Okay, no more.
Because we're not a silly Billy.
Sorry.
Oh, that one hurt.
Man, well, we've successfully pumped all of our ammo into Mr. Peachy, but unfortunately we don't have any more ammo, so we're going to have to go find another gun to finish the job.
Hey,
I got killed. Unfortunately.
Alright, me and you, bunny.
Come on, Peter, you can do it. I believe in you.
Oh, ran out of ammo again.
No.
Well, I've certainly got a lot of chocolate bars, which is something. I don't know, I kind of like it. It's very weird, but it's interesting. I think that maybe it could have thought like something which was a bit more like I think I like the general idea of something just running around in a battle royale which you can get stuff out of. That might be actually a better idea than the sort of care packages, like an active thing you have to shoot at. Man, can we actually find any ammo? That'd be nice. Can you melee the bunny? I don't think so.
Why not? Have you tried?
Not yet.
Well, then you can't say that you can't.
Oh man, I'm totally... Oh wait, no, actually I'm not out of ammo.
It's not easy being fluffy.
I do appreciate the overdramatic voice acting though.
Almost took my ear off.
Could you knife the bunny? Peter.
Sorry, I'm kind of concentrating.
You died, dude. That's not concentrating.
Oh, okay. It looks like we might be doing a do-over, which is a surprising outcome.
Yeah, well...
Alright. Well, I can never complain about more high-quality Modern Combat 5.
Well, that makes two of us, Peter. I'm a big sucker for good MC5. And this way, we're gonna have even more.
Alright guys, we're going to get into that pre-game lobby. We'll be back in just a second. Looks like we are doing a do-over of game number 3. Too close to call between New Era and Victory of Lords. We shall see who will take the crown or begin the comeback of the century in just a few moments' time. Alright guys, welcome back. It looks like, the assumption is that New Era got awarded that last game, which is a surprising outcome. Because we are now on to Scramble, which means it's game number 4 between these two. Still, Victory of Lords, they've got a chance to keep things going, but man, that was a crazy last game. As New Era, they pushed their way through. The first 2 games was, it didn't even look close.
Oh, it certainly didn't counterfeit. But game number 3, I feel like anything but close wouldn't be able to describe what happened last game. 50-50, you don't see that every day. And we wrote MC5 history, as that is apparently a thing that can happen. New Era, however, they won that game, but just by getting just pushing themselves through the goalpost, just with like an inch ahead of Victory of Lords, and now it's looking close as well. No kills coming out. The two teams just testing the waters, trying to see if they can catch someone on their back foot. But Zenith and Shine both catch a kill with a grenade.
I think they might have even killed each other. Well, we'll see how it goes. Yes, Big Gorilla, definitely quote that one. Could you knife the bunny? The question on everybody's lips, along with, will the Lords and New Era go to another 50-kill marathon? Certainly the opening minute and a half suggests that we're going to be seeing another close game. But hey, anything could happen. As Zenith, I think actually just disconnected there. That's some bad news for New Era.
It certainly could be a slow game counterfeit, with us just seeing 5 kills within 2 minutes. New Era and the Victory Lords, they're keeping themselves to the respectively west and east side of this map, and are just trying to wait for their opponent to make that mistake. Amrad and D-pad find 2 mistakes right there as they punish VOL.
2 minutes down, very, very close. YOLO just appearing from behind the boxes. I think maybe just wrong place, wrong time there, though, as Make comes a charging in. New Era, they're holding themselves up in the top left-hand corner of the map. And the Lords, they are struggling to displace them.
Yeah, well, kind of it. VOL is trying their best right here to find those last 2 kills that they need, and now a bomber will come in here for New Era. It's 1-to-1 in terms of military support, so no one is getting that extra help to start their lead and gain that control that they want. But right now, Victory Lords and New Era more or less even, with Victory Lords just falling 3 kills behind.
So this could be a incredible comeback story here from New Era. If they can manage to hold on to their current situation, makes a lot of sense for the American squad to try and reduce the play area by just, controlling just this small portion up in the top left-hand corner. New Era down to 4 members as Shine manages to post a grenade through just to say hi.
Oh, but Counterfeit is still 3 kills in the lead for New Era. And guys, we do have an update. It is a tie. Game number 3 was a tied game. So Victory Lords, they are still up by 2 games overall between New Era and them.
I'm just going to check if it's considered to be 3-1 or 2-0 at the moment. Well, of course, we'll get through. Big Gorilla, you despise Mr. Peachy. How could you say that?
Who's Mr. Peachy?
That's the bunny.
Ooh.
Hero Gaming Siren, I do appreciate your construction of that emoji train to indicate the various ways to dispose of Mr. Peachy. But there's no Mr. Peachy to be found here in this competitive game, as New Era, man, they are sending the Lords to school, doubling up on the Lords' score for just a second. Stress, though, has something to say about that, as they get 3 kills before being taken down.
And we need to see something different coming out from the Victory Lords. We need to see them go aggressive, chuck grenades at their opponents. Right now, they're slowly choking out in this game, and there's only 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. So if they want to make that comeback, they need to make it now, because time is running out.
Randolph Beard, you just re-downloaded this game? Well, I hope to see you in the PC competition down the line, Randolph Beard. Definitely head across to the ESL Discord, find yourself a team, or if you've got some friendos to play with already, it's free to enter. Just like these teams, they've earned their way to this point. They haven't paid anything at all to get into this competition. They've just fought their way through the weeklies. They've now made it to the monthly competition, and they will now fight for the largest share of the €500 prize pool.
But the Victory of Lords, they are close. They can taste that Counterfeit, but they might have to wait another game, as they are looking to lose here on Scramble. Our next destination will be Museum, and then if we go to a 5th game, it could be either Construction Site or Streets. We're still waiting on confirmation about that. But just so far, time is running out, and the VOL team, they're about to just run out of track to work with.
And New Era, they've done a really great job so far, but Stress seems to be taking on the mantle of the playmaker for the Lords team owner, but Deepap fires back. A nice double grenade kill there. Cheeto gets the punish in return. The difference maker from long range, but who's struggling to find the New Era members who've secreted themselves so well at the back of the map. Ooh.
But Counterfeit, there's only 40 seconds left to go. The VOL team, they're actually starting to catch up a bit. But the bomber coming in here for New Era will take a lot of time away from VOL. It's coming out towards VOL as well. Look at that minimap. That bomber could come in huge and secure themselves the victory.
It will at least strip away some moments of opportunity. 5 ahead now for the New Era. And it's looking like, despite the attempts of the French squad, New Era can get themselves established in this grand final, thanks first of all to that incredible Game 3 finish. Now the remade Game 3 is over, and New Era are still in with a chance of claiming that #1 spot.
But they need to win the next 2 games, Counterfeit. So it's not over yet, but New Era, they're looking better and better. And now they're showing that they have recognized the weaknesses in the armor of the VOL squad. That as long as they can slow down the game and don't take that 1v1, 2v2 duels, they should be able to win against the big favorites in this tournament.
Aminrad gonna be the favourite of the New Era fans with 11-6 scoreline. Real impressive stuff. Shine over for the Victory Lord side. It was almost a comeback city, but ultimately it turns out that we have got a series. So, stay tuned everybody, we shall return. Game 3, the Lords still on the precipice of victory, but New Era, they claw up more strongly in every game. Find out what's happening in 7 minutes or less. Welcome one, welcome all to the fourth game of the Red April Finals on iOS. New Era and Victory of Lords clash for, I guess what would be the fifth time after that startling draw in game number 3.
But overall, in terms of the score counterfeit, it's going to be the fourth time. New Era, if they make this game theirs, then they will have equalized the score entirely. And they will be just one more step, one more game, one more victory away from the grand prize of 350 euros.
It's still Victory of Lords series to take. They win a single more game from here on out, and they claim the lion's share of the prize, 350 euros, going to first place. Victory of Lords, one step away, but New Era, well, they just keep on stepping on the Lord's shoes.
They certainly do. New Era. They are not out of it at all, but the Victory of Lords, they're doing pretty well in this game. They want to just brawl up. They want to duel all the time, but it's New Era who are coming out ahead with that help of the military support, getting those airstrikes in, giving them just a tiny bit extra to work with.
Make currently the score leader for the Lords. Nice grenade hit through as they provide fire support from the side of the squad. Roaming around will be Cheeto. Let's see from the other side. It's Amenrad, who we saw be the big carry for the New Era team before. Now on the assault and on the move.
Oh, but look at what New Era they're doing. They're sending one guy through the middle, so that could be the difference maker here with Victory of Lords and New Era standing on the platforms, standing out on the east and west corridor here at the museum.
YOLO and God standing off as the guards on the sides, but it looks like the next encounter could be developing up in the top. Suthi moving forwards, but actually falling back, and YOLO and Zenith working as a flanking unit, which I don't think is going to find too many Lords.
Oh, damn, man, it's definitely far from over. And now, we must say here, the New Era, they're starting to find their way forward. Finding a kill lead of 5, and that is surprising. We didn't see that coming here in this game where Victory Lords, they controlled the early game. But now that we're coming here towards the 20 kill mark, New Era, they are putting themselves up against Victory Lords and putting themselves ahead.
In the first game, Victory of Lords won by 15. In the second game, Victory of Lords won by 25. But in the last game that counted, New Era won by 5. And being up in this position already early on into the game for the American squad has got to be a pretty good feeling.
It certainly must, but Victory Lords, they're far from out of it. 3 kills now, coming up towards the, New Era, and starting to get closer and closer. In terms of military support, the two teams, they are doing well, finding the recon aircrafts, finding those airstrikes, and we all know how important that is in order to develop a lead for yourself. And right now, they're finding themselves at 4-5.
Team owner Stress is on the recon class, stealing themselves away a Cog V, but it's God we should be watching with that shotgun, the heavy, the extra health. Roaming around near Big Head, dropping down, looking for more prey. We're running into multiple members of the New Era. Does finally fall down as Suthi turns that kill into 2 more with some judicious application of military support.
But I'm so happy, Counterfeit, that we're seeing a close game here between New Era and the Victory of Lords. It means that we're going to get a interesting...
Oh no! I don't know. Well, so we've had something like this happen before, and occasionally it's because the game loss servers just had a hiccup. We'll wait for an update on that, or if the game is continuing. Let's see. Okay, so we'll update you guys. Hopefully, well, I don't know. For our sake, I suppose. I actually kind of hope that everybody got kicked out there, so that we can actually see what the results of that last game were, because it was shaping up to be extremely competitive.
It certainly was. As I was saying, I'm happy to see a game be that even, just seeing as how the teams, they were playing with very high stakes, Counterfeit. For New Era, it was do or die time. For VOL, they could finish the grand final at that point.
So guys, while we wait for our answer, please do come and join us for a team battle on the streets. Okay, yes, getting confirmation from Stress from the Victory of Lords that it was a general kick out of everybody, which is what we kind of had hoped. So we will get to see the remake. Alright, forget about this community game because we've got a newly set up lobby. Apologies for that, guys. But hopefully it should all be Gucci from here on out. So D-List, from what we saw from part of the game that we did get to see, what did you reckon of New Era's performance?
Ooh, I think it was very shaky. I would love to see them put up a more consistent fight against VOL, because even though VOL, they were, let's say, not exactly pulling themselves to the lead, neither were New Era. They were allowing VOL to just make their comeback, and that is not something you want to see from a team with their backs against the wall.
Alright guys, so, as we said before, €500 prize pool on the line for this grand final. Second place, €150. First place, 350. Top 3 teams get that Invictus camo, owned only by the very best who compete in the monthly competitions. For now, they will take a micro break as the teams get set up for a remade game number 4 on the museum. One more chance for New Era to push through all the way to the end of the series, or for the Lords to claim the crown. We'll see you in a few moments' time. Let's go round again, gentle friends. Back to the museum. Another chance here for New Era, as the server decries our opportunity to see ourselves a winner or a Game 5, at least as of yet.
Well, Counterfeit, hold your horses. It's not over yet. And with the way things were shaping up here between VOL and New Era before we got disconnected, I feel like we might have a Game 5 on our hands. But VOL, still, you can't underestimate them. And they have looked just absolutely smashing in game number 1 and game number 2.
Amenrad did manage to smash a couple of points in there for New Era with a lovely flank. And Big Gorilla talking about the possibility of a new camo for ESL revealed on Dulzy's podcast. So we'll keep an eye out for that. You can check that out on the Modern Combat Facebook channel if you'd like more information. For now though, all eyes are on the museum as New Era starting themselves out pretty strongly as they make their case to take this to a full 5-game series.
Oh, they absolutely are. Right now, 8-5, and VOL find themselves 3 kills behind. It's not a good look for them at all, but it's getting closer between the 2 teams. At VOL, they find themselves with a scoreline of 8-6.
Amenrad trying to go for that same flank again. This time round, we met with a flurry of grenades. Turns back in again, but won't be able to pull off the same trick as Make holds ground next to Big Head. Charging in will be Amenrad again. This time they are with the BSW. They get the double kill. Wow. The high ground is no safety.
Now, we've seen that in a lot of modern movies, Counterfeit, that the high ground will always take you down if you try to fight against it. And now, VOL They are having to fight uphill. It is at least a struggle so far. And you must say that they need to start getting some kill streaks in because that's what New Era they are getting. And right now, with those military supports that they're getting 3-0 from VOL, New Era, they have a kill lead for themselves.
As Big Gorilla's saying in the chat, there definitely have been some pretty heavy discussions about the Marauder. Would love to see that be part of ESL competition, but we'll have to see what happens once the new patch comes a little bit closer. For now, though, the Lords, they're lurking. Deepak grabs another. It's looking like the trend is towards a new era victory unless the Lords start to make some major changes.
That is true, kind of fit. The Lords, VOL, they need to start finding a way to cut down New Era right now. I would say the way to do so would be to just draw up, work together as a unit, and find those 1v2s. There's no reason to go 1v1 because right now, New Era, they have shown that they always have a sniper ready to shoot you down. So if you try to isolate some of those targets and go for a 2v2 where you deal with both the sniper and the brawler, then that could be the way for VOL to get back in the lead.
Rad, from the very start of the game, has been the difference maker for Victory of Lords. Shine, their top player, only has 3 kills, whereas Rad has 8. A very top-heavy scoreboard for New Era, who have got 2 members, Suthi and YOLO, who don't have any kills at all.
It's not good at all, so that could be a potential weak spot for VOL to punish New Era by. But New Era, they are running away. They're not taking the fight against VOL. Right now, VOL over on the east corridor. But for New Era, they are staying down at the southwest. And they're trying to just spread out and make sure that they don't fight against VOL. They find VOL, and VOL, they cut them down, putting themselves up with a 2 kill deficit, and they'll make that 1 as Cheeto finds another one.
Wow, really nice play there for Victory Lords, who almost equalize. They do equalize. This looked like New Era's game, and now the whole thing is up in the air. 2.5 minutes left to play. As we said, the Lords 1 step away from glory.
But counterfeit, it's just coming down to the very last kill here between VOL and New Era. It could come down to who just gets that very last push as VOL, they sneak forward with 2 kills.
Stress ducking, jumping over right into the face of the opposition. The Lords, they're building up that lead. We said that's what they needed, is to start getting those streaks going. Suthi is there to try and reply, but gets cut down. Rad, the hope of New Era, throwing out the grenades, does get some good ricochets in as Deepak grabs one. But the American team now find themselves on the ropes.
Ooh, and VOL, they're starting to find those airstrikes, which helps them a lot, but they still need to not group up as a team. New Era, they have been deadly with their explosives, and they have gotten 4 more explosive kills overall than their opponents VOL, which certainly helped them a lot in terms of getting those massive group kills.
So 1 minute 30 left to play. New Era, they've been in more trouble before, but they've got to show that resiliency they've displayed in the previous games. Rad back to their favorite flanking position, this time Cheeto there to meet them. Cheeto, I think the unsung hero of Victory Lords, creeping up through that score table. 7-3 does get taken out though.
But now with 1 minute remaining and VOL being this far ahead, New Era, they need to find something new to do because they have been exposed by VOL. And VOL, they need 1 more game to take this grand final, and they are creeping closer and closer to it with 45 seconds remaining.
Shine and Stress, along with Cheeto, the 3 top hitters from Victory of Lords. Shine managing to find that flank right as 3 more kills come in. 30 seconds remain. The Lords might even shoot for the big 5-0, but for New Era, they need a miracle and they need it right now.
They certainly do. We're coming down to 20 seconds, and VOL, they need 5 more. New Era, they need 19. This is so hard, and it's definitely not going to be New Era taking this game, and 19 was certainly not the right number as I just figured out the math.
5 seconds remain. Lords, they want to put this one beyond question, but I think that last kill will elude them. However, the first place prize will not. By a score of 3-1 and a total of, I think, 6 games played overall, the Lords will be your champions. They'll take home the €350 and, of course, the Invictus camo along with the top 3 teams. Congratulations to New Era, but ultimately it just wasn't quite enough.
Oh, it definitely wasn't kind of fit, but I appreciate seeing New Era put up this good of a fight against VOL. We needed to see someone do this against them, and I'm happy to say that New Era, they did that, because damn did they put up a good fight in the games that they won.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, but that will be the end of our monthly stream for right now. We'll be back in just under 2 hours time for our April Blue Finals. So if you enjoy seeing top quality MC5 action, you do not want to miss it. For now though, if you haven't already, please do follow Modern Combat on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Mob Crush, wherever you might happen to be watching us. And Dealers, if they'd like to hear more of your good self, where would a person look on the intertubes?
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at DeedlessCasts.
And you can find me at CounterfeitCast in the same kind of place. But guys, thank you again, and to Aviator Featured, along with, I believe, Big Gorilla, and apologies if I miss anyone else from our admin team working behind the scenes to make this finals happen. We'll see you guys in a couple of hours to end out the weekend.